mom's boyfriend demands that I hand over my money or he'll ruin my life. I got him arrested and dumped. When I was 13, my dad left my mom for his coworker Diane and completely destroyed our family. My mom spent a whole year just crying on the couch, telling me stuff no kid should hear about their parents' marriage, like how my dad didn't want to touch her anymore. Really messed up stuff to dump on your kid. She kept saying nobody would ever love her again. And honestly, it was exhausting being her therapist when I was just trying to deal with my own feelings about the divorce. My grandma finally made her get real help when I turned 15. The meds help, but she still loses it whenever my stepmom comes up or when we visit my dad and half-brother. About a year ago, she met Todd at her book club, and suddenly she's acting like a teenager with her first boyfriend. He's always posting about how amazing she is and buying her jewelry, and I was actually happy for her at first. Then he started coming over more and more until he was basically living with us 4 days a week. That's when he showed his real personality. He started acting like he owned our house and we were just guests he had to tolerate. If I wore normal summer clothes like shorts and a tank top, he'd tell me I looked like I was trying to get attention and make me change. Why was he even looking at me like that? Todd tells my younger brother Ryan to shut his mouth and stop being annoying every single day. He calls Ryan stupid when he forgets his homework or leaves his backpack by the door. One time, Ryan was just telling us about his day at school, and Todd grabbed his shoulder hard and told him nobody cared about his dumb stories. Ryan started crying and my mom told him to stop being so sensitive, that Todd was just trying to help him learn when to talk and when to be quiet. She actually takes Todd's side every time. 3 weeks ago, I came home from my job around 10 at night. Todd was drunk on the couch and asked to borrow money. I said no, because why would I give my money to my mom's boyfriend? He completely lost it, started screaming that I was a selfish brat and he'd make my life hell if I didn't give him the cash. He grabbed my water glass right out of my hand and threw it at the wall so hard it exploded everywhere. My mom got mad about the broken glass, but not about him threatening me. She gave him money from her purse and then made me apologize to him for being disrespectful. She said I needed to learn to respect the man of the house. Todd stood there smirking while I had to say sorry for not giving him my own money. That night, I called my dad crying. He was furious and said I could move in immediately, but I couldn't leave Ryan alone with Todd. My dad said something interesting though. He asked if Todd had a job. Turns out nobody knew what Todd did for work. He was always home when we got back from school and never mentioned going to work. He'd tell my mom he had meetings or was working on deals, but never any details. So I started paying attention. Todd drove a nice truck and wore expensive clothes, but never left for a job. He was always asking my mom for money for gas or groceries or whatever. He'd tell her his money was tied up in investments. I checked his social media and found out he had an ex-wife and 2 kids he never mentioned. Found his ex-wife Brianna's profile and messaged her. She told me everything. Todd hasn't had a job in 3 years. He finds single moms with money and moves in with them, lives off them until they catch on, then moves to the next one. He still owed Brianna $12,000 in child support. He'd done this to 4 different women that she knew about. She'd been trying to find him for months because he kept changing his phone number. She said he was really good at finding desperate women and making them feel special at first, then slowly taking control of their money and their kids. I gave her our address, but first, I needed to get him away from my family. I told my mom I wanted to apologize properly to Todd and cook him his favorite dinner on Friday night. She was so happy I was finally accepting him. She kept saying this was a big step for our family. That Friday, I made a huge meal and acted super sweet to Todd. Kept refilling his beer and telling him how sorry I was for being difficult. He got comfortable and started drinking beer after beer. Around 9, he was wasted and started bragging about how he had my mom wrapped around his finger, and soon he'd get her to add him to the house deed. He said once his name was on the house, he'd have real security. My mom looked confused and asked what he meant. He laughed and said she was so desperate for love she'd give him anything. He actually called her pathetic and said dating lonely single moms was like taking candy from babies. The doorbell rang right then. Full story on channel. Link below.